Hello everyone, welcome to this fun member-only video where we are going to be using Sublimation to create a fun blanket. We have a couple of cut files and a font that we're using to create our design, and this is a larger project because we're making it a blanket. So we don't want to be constrained by the design space print and cut limitations, which are 6.75 by 9.25. So I'm going to show you how I like to use our cut files and make bigger projects with them. I'm going to be using Illustrator today, but you can also use Inkscape to do this exact same thing. Inkscape is a free design program available for PCs and Macs, so definitely download that and go along with this project. As far as supplies today, we do have our Sublimation printer. This is actually just an Epson printer that we have converted for Sublimation. And we also have our large Easy Press. We have a large Easy Press mat. We do have a 100% polyester blanket. And cool thing about this blanket, I bought one from Amazon that was a 50 by 60 inch blanket. It was around $15 and then was able to make 2 blankets out of it. I wanted a kid-size blanket for my kiddos, so I cut this basically in half and then cut a little bit off, and then I hemmed around the edges with the sewing machine, and so I'm getting 2 blankets out of one. Score. Then I do have some Sublimation paper here. This is 19 by 13 inch, so we are going to be able to make some pretty big images. I'm very excited. That is basically all that we need for craft supplies other than like our heat resistant tape and things like that. So let's jump over onto the computer and I'll show you what we're doing to manipulate these cut files in Illustrator. So before I go over into Illustrator to show those of you who are interested in larger than design space restrictions, I'm going to show those of you who only want to work in design space how to do this as well. You will not be able to make it any bigger than the 6.75 by 9.25 restrictions, but I can show you here how to do it. And then for those of you interested in the larger than that sizes, then you can keep watching and watch the Illustrator tutorial. So I have a basic shape here, and I'm going to size it to the size of my blanket, which is 29 inches wide by 38 inches tall. So we have that. I can go ahead and change it to a different color. And then I have this cat cut file, and I only want one of them, so I'm going to ungroup and delete the one that I don't want. Then I can group this back together and move it over here. Now, we're already almost at that 6.75 by 9.25 limit. So I'm just going to lower it down to 6.75. We can move it over here. And then this cut file, I'm only going to use part of. So let's size it down just a little bit here so that we can see it on our canvas. And then what I want to do is grab a basic shape, a square, size it up so that it covers the part of the cut file that I don't want to use. Then I'm going to select both layers, and then in the bottom right-hand corner, I'll press slice. Now I can delete the slice results that I no longer need. So I don't need these. All I want left is this. So that's perfect. And then I can move it over here onto my blanket. Now, again, we do have these restrictions. So maybe what I want to do is slice each individual of these so that we have from one layer and we can make it into 4 layers. So let's do kind of what we did earlier. Add our basic shape, select both layers, press slice, and then delete the slice results that I don't need. So now I have this guy right here that is separate. Then I can add another basic shape, do the exact same thing, and I'm going to do this until I have the 4 layers. So slice, delete, delete. You can move him over. And then our last one here, you can also use the contour feature if you wanted to. There are just so many little pieces that I didn't want to have to contour each piece. So slice, delete, delete, and now I have all of these. So then I need to size them to 9.25 inches high, 9.25. And then I can move them over here just like this. I can make him 9.252. I should have evened them up a little bit. 9.25. And then we can do this one again. Now the design that I'm going to be doing with this is just going to be a little bit different because of the size restriction. So where the one I'm doing in Illustrator will have 4 paws, this one is going to have at least, I would say, 2 more paws, so that we can fill up that top space. Yeah, that'll look good. So all I did was selected the 2 paws that I wanted to duplicate. And I pressed Command C, which is copy, Command V, which is paste, and then I can move it over here. So that looks cute. And then I'm going to grab a text box and type in Smalls, and I want to select the font Atmospheric, just like this. Then I can bring it over here, and again, I have to size it up. Now, what I could do if I wanted to get by is slice these out individually again. We can ungroup and then just print these individually, just like this, because each individual one will still print. So what I need to do is change it from a cut to a print and cut. So up here you can see it says basic cut. Let's go ahead and select all of them so that we can do them all at the same time. We have all of them selected, changing from basic cut to standard print and cut. And then I can change the color here as well. I want it the same color as the collar. So that's perfect. And then I want to do the same thing with these right here. Right now, these are cut. They will not be printed. They would just be cut. So again, I will select all of them, change to print and cut from basic cuts. And then I also want to change the color to the orange color of the cat. So that's looking good. It doesn't matter the placement here. I would want to space these out a little bit, but since I'm going to manually place all of them, it doesn't matter. Then I can kind of move this over, select the whole cat, and I want to press flatten. Right now it has all of these individual layers, and they are all cut layers or cut lines. And when I press flatten, we have one layer now that is a print and cut image. So you can see here we have this cute design. Looks really good. Can X out of that. We can go ahead and click make it. And you can see it's going to be several different printed pages, but that's how you have to do it if you want as big as possible using Design Space. Over in Illustrator, I went ahead and imported the You Had Me at Meow cut file from this cut file collection. And I also have the orange cat cut file. You can see there are 2 right here. It doesn't necessarily matter which one you bring in. I normally just bring in the SVGs instead of PNGs because I can manipulate them a little easier. Also, the quality and resolution will be better since it is a vector file instead of a pixel-based file. So what you need to do is create a blank canvas by pressing new. And then I like to go ahead and do my canvas the width and height of the blanket. So the width of my blanket is 29 inches and the height is 38 inches. So I can just press create. And there's our blanket. Then what I need to do is I'm going to copy and paste right in here. Whoops, we need the whole file here. Select all of it and press Command C, and then come over here and we're pressing Command V. We also could have right clicked and pressed paste. Then what I need to do is bring in the other cut file. So I'm going to come over here and then I'm going to select this by pressing Command C, going to the other Command V. Now, if you're in Inkscape, then you can just import all of those cut files right onto the canvas and not have to worry about opening different windows and copying and pasting. Okay, so now what we want to do is just select the part of the cut file that we want. So there's a couple of different ways that you can do that. I'm going to use terms that you would likely use already in Design Space. So I'm going to basically slice off what I don't want by just grabbing a basic shape over here, covering again exactly like we do in Design Space, and then select both of the layers. And then you can come over here to your Pathfinder and just press click minus to front. This is basically like the slice feature in Design Space. And then I'm just going to bring it over and I'm going to size it down. I want it to fit right here at the top, just like this. And then I need to size my little cat up just a little bit here. And then as always, friends, if you do not want to create your images this large, you can definitely still do all of this in Design Space. Don't feel pressured to use Inkscape or Illustrator. I just wanted to show those of you who are interested in creating larger images and figuring out how to size things, how to do it easily in one of these programs. But anyway, I've got my cat sized here. And then all I want to do is grab another I want to grab a text box and I'm going to type in the word Smalls, and it's so tiny you can't even see it. But Smalls is the cat name that I'm going to be typing in. So I'm increasing the letter sizing, and then I want to choose the font Atmospheric. So I'm just going to type in Atmospheric over here. Just like that. That looks very cute. And then I'm going to press Create Outlines to have my text here. I can size it up. And then all I want to do at this point is select the color from the collar to match. So I have the Smalls selected. I'm going to press this eyedropper tool here and then color match. So those are fantastic. Now this right here, I just want to change the color of, and then I'm ready to start saving everything after this. So again, I have this selected. I'm going to get my eyedropper tool, and I want it to be orange like the cat. Okay, now that I have everything sized and designed and placed where I want it, I do need to go ahead and mirror all of these, or flip, rotate, transform, however you want to say it. So what I want to do is just select the entire thing, and then I'm going to right click, press transform, and then reflect, just like that. So now everything is backward, which is exactly what I want. And then I can start saving these things individually. So what I'm going to do, there are several different ways you can do this. What I like to do is just delete the parts that I'm not currently saving. And then I'll bring them back and then save them. And the reason that I do that is because I cannot save everything at the same time, since I'm using, basically Smalls is going to be on one sheet of printed paper. One footprint will be on one. The cat will be on one. So total there will be 6 printed sheets. And so I have to save it all individually. So I'm going to press File, Export as, and I'm saving this as a PNG. So I'll type in Smalls. I'm going to save it to my desktop, and then I can press Export, just like that. And then I'm going to push Undo or Command Z so that everything comes back. So then I'll delete these. Now I can save the cat, export as, just title it cat, just like that. Save it. Undo again, and then I'll delete these parts, and then 3 of the feet, just like this. And then again, I'll save each of these individually until all of them are saved. Now I'm ready to go ahead and print these. It doesn't matter which one I start with. I'm just going to double click so that it comes up in preview. I'll press File and Print. And then my Epson printer is already connected, so I don't have to worry about that. I do need to change my paper size because I am using 13 by 19 inch paper. And I'll be honest, sometimes when I click this, the option is there, and other times it is not. So you can just go to Manage Custom Sizes and add the paper size and width. Okay, once I have that inserted, then I can press Scale, and then I want to put it at 100% so that it prints the exact same size that I've saved it from Illustrator. Now I can go ahead and press Print. Now I'm just going to go ahead and print off the rest of the pictures. Like I said earlier, there will be 6 total pieces of paper that I'm printing out. And then once they're printed, I'll be ready to place them on the blanket and heat it up for transfer. Now I'm just going to go ahead and print off the rest of the pictures. Like I said earlier, there will be 6 total pieces of paper that I'm printing out. And then once they're printed, I'll be ready to place them on the blanket and heat it up for transfer. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and place these items or these graphics on my blanket. I'll do the bottom pieces first and then the top. And what I wanna do is just go ahead and come in here and cut off the bottoms of these so that I can see a little bit better about placement. I know that I wanted this right toward the bottom like this, and I wanted our adorable cat right here. So what I'll do first is place this one and heat it up. Because my heat press isn't big enough to cover this entire image, I am going to have to move the heat press around. And so I want to make sure that my image is not moving at all. So that's why I'm going to tape it really, really good and hope for the best. Okay, now that I have this taped down, I'm going to just place my Easy Press mat underneath, and then I have my Easy Press preheated to 400, and I will try when I'm putting this down to put it so that it's kind of in between the A and the L so that I don't have to worry about the overlap issue. So I'm gonna lay it down and then we'll heat it for 40 seconds. When it's finished, then I'll move it over here to the other side. Okay, now that I'm finished with this section, I am ready to remove my paper, my sublimation paper, just like this. And then I'm ready to go ahead and put the other pieces on. Now we're ready to go ahead and put our cat in here. And if you remember, the S was kind of butted up to the cat's legs. So definitely, if you don't remember exactly where it is, reference your design, your original design, and then go ahead and lay him down and tape him down and apply heat to him. Okay, and now that we're finished with our cat, we're gonna go ahead and just do the top as well with our little paws, exactly like we've done this. There we have it, our huge sublimation project on this fun blanket. I hope you enjoyed this and that you get some inspiration for some larger than Design Space projects as well. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys another day.